Today's episode is brought to you by Polish Karen for Florida. Polish Karen for Florida. C.D. McRae moved to Florida because some people paid me money, actual currency, fiat currency, to harass you online. So, C.D., you need to move down to the Wang of America in Florida. Dave Casey, do you have any thoughts on Florida? What's your favorite part of Florida?
Yeah, I actually moved to Florida once, right before 9/11. It was an absolute nightmare. I wouldn't recommend it. But it's probably a different story today.
So we're familiar with like the alligators and the meth, and the Florida man is a thing, and wet heat and giant bugs and things like that. Do you have any like pros for getting Polish Karen down to Florida?
Oh man,
libertarians. There's some libertarians there.
Right, some libertarians are loving DeSantis. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, let's kick this thing.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the least comfortable show on the web. It's The System is Down, where we talk about all the uncomfortable topics like conspiracies, politics, religion, so on and so forth. And I'm back. It's been a bit, I know, and it might be a bit before you see me again after this, but whenever we can do it, we will do it. But the summer is the summer, and the summer does as the summer chooses. We've got a lot to talk about today, a lot of things to catch up on. I just went on Reed's show. Check that out. I don't remember how to do this or where I'm supposed to give these plugs or how this thing works, but Reed's show, go check that out. We talked about a lot of uncomfortable stuff and backstories and whatever. Also, later today, I'm going on Karlin Borisenko's show, and we're going to talk about whether or not Hitler went to hell, so that should be fun. That's happening at, I don't know, 4 today, 4 o'clock corn time, so check that out on her channel. But we're going to get into this. We are going to get geared up and ready to go here, but before we do, let's kick this intro. This is the time where it's an interactive show where you go out and share the show with a friend while this intro plays. You will still be able to hear it. You can play it down in the corner so you can still get all pumped and hyped up, but go out and do your part, and then I'll be right back to do mine. Let's go.
All I ask is, if we have to give these bastards our lives, we give them hell before we do!
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
I don't know what I said.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves were possessing weapons of mass destruction. 9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth. I remember that with that smoke. We are still here!
We have to say yes to social justice.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It is a big club, and you are not in it, but you are in this club, and this, whatever this is, this cult, this nonsense, this silly changing of the world that we're doing here on the show. We are not a part of the club that gets away with, prostitution and drugs and, embezzling and criminal activity, whatever. I'm getting ahead of myself. We gotta actually get into the show here. Before we get into it, I do have to remind you of my favorite of all time sponsors, which is of course you guys in the Downers Club. People like Denise Cox, okay, we got some new ones. Let me back up here. So just to make sure I get you once in your lifetime and improperly pronounce your name at least one time, Denise Cox, Kislane Maxwell, I think is what that says. Joey Ferguson, Bonnie Jeffers, David Bradley, Dave versus Goliath. I don't know who that is. Amy Lepore and the fine people over at LP Delaware are doing amazing work. Magoo, Break the Bell, Gigi Vaughn, Zerath Anarchy, Cole, Hefflumps, Woozles, Van Zot Media, Jack Casey, Jafari, Craig DaCosta, Anthony Meyer, Skookarkist, Brian something, Mary something, and a bunch of other people. If you want to get your name on that list and possibly have it read incorrectly, go on over to patreon.com/The System Is Down and sign up for the Downers Club, because I am not allowed to make money off this show anywhere else, and who knows how long Patreon will allow it. So if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, you're not just supporting the show, you're not just getting your name on a stupid list, you're getting more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content, bonus episodes of the show every single week, including the after party that we are going to be doing immediately following this stream today, and it will be live streamed. And for as little as $1, you can join the live stream, or $5 will get you all of the backlog, all of the everything, and you can listen to it whenever you so please. But either way, go to patreon.com/The System Is Down and sign up right now. Do it. I'll wait. You're fast. All right, cool. Now let's bring him in. This is where we roast the news. This is where we do the thing that we do that I forget about how to do. But I always say I can't do it alone whenever I have somebody here, and I don't have to do it alone. I don't prefer to do it alone. And my favorite person that I prefer to not do it alone with is the one and only Dave Casey, who you can find on.
It really depends on the day, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Gone again, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all for the same reason. So I'm not like repeating. I'm not a
Still
repeat
just
offender.
right. And like it's funny because we've got a lot of friends in our circle who keep doing the same thing where they get back on, get kicked back off, and not for anything new, it seems like. And a lot of them, it was like for saying something, I don't know, outlandishly offensive, and yours is still just because you called Howard Stern a bitch, right?
Yeah, it was a whore. You
Oh, a
can't
whore.
sexually disparage somebody like that. Though bitch
Right.
might cover it too. But yeah, really fucking stupid. And so
Yeah.
my next handle is going to be Dave Evades, and they're going to find that one right away too. So
Right.
no.
I imagine they have algorithms that look for anything that's like evades or I'm
Mhm.
back or anything like that. But
My last one was One Man Band.
nice.
You got that one. First day.
Nice.
We'll keep trying, buddy.
So with your last one, was it like, did you? Your name was Dave for Delaware, but you
Yeah.
were still posting like stuff about the show and posting links to it and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
what happened to me on Facebook, which is why there is no The System Is Down Facebook page still, because it was only one time of me getting kicked off again on there, and I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't care. Twitter, I honestly would be more devastated if I lost my Twitter at this point, so I
It is
feel for you.
devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really sucks. I'm on there. I'm just not telling anybody where I'm at, so I can still enjoy you
I
guys.
see you.
and,
I see
yeah, I
out
know you
there.
do, buddy. Yeah, I got to keep my squad really tight right now.
That's right. And for the right price, if you join the Patreon at the $50 level, I will tell you Dave's anonymous Twitter account.
That's good, but I would do the same thing. Capitalism, first and foremost.
That's right. Not really. But so I have some things that I need to talk about before we get into the news. I guess this could be good news or it could be bad news. I'm not sure. But last night, for people who have followed this show for a while, I've done bonus episodes where I talk about filming pageants and stuff like that. And there might be some bonus episodes where I'm ragging on pageants a little bit and having a good laugh at them, stuff like that. Don't go looking for it, please. But those might be out there. And so this year, my daughter decided, out of the irony of the universe, she decided, hey, I don't want to do softball this year, which is fine with me because I'm not a sports guy either, but I'm even typically less a pageant guy. She decided I want to do the pageant instead. And we had some long talks, and I was like, okay, I guess. But you better not win.
Oh,
And
victory.
here we are. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's like, I'm proud of you, and also, wow, like this. My wife and I went to a meeting this morning with her about it. Like, I was up till like 1:30 this morning, backing up all my files because I was there working. I was filming it, but she was also in it, so it was like double busy, and it's going to continue to be double busier because I was backing up files till the wee hours, and then I had to get up shortly thereafter to go to this meeting to find out what all is entailed in this. And it's a lot of things that she is expected to go to, which means that a lot of things that I'm going to end up inevitably at, which is fine, and I love her very much. But why, universe? Why couldn't you give me an ugly child? That's all I asked for. It was just somebody ugly enough that they will, not live life based off of their And it's not even like just her looks. Like she did really well overall. So I'm not reducing it to that either.
Dude, damn it.
Just I don't know, make her like me, like I was, like this nerdy, frumpy piece of shit dude or girl or whatever, so that she will at least like be focused and dedicated on. She will be forced to make something of herself other than beauty pageant.
Why can't you be an introvert until you're like 25 or 30? That would be fine.
Right. No, I kid. It's awesome, and I'm glad. But I just had to bring it up because some people were commenting on my post last night, like, this reminds me of that episode you did about a year ago. And I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yep.
But the universe and God and everyone has a fun sense of humor and irony, and I appreciate it very much. I'm like, this one, you got me. Good
Not
job.
without note, right? We'll
That's
take
right.
note of that.
I see you. I see what you're doing. Anyway, we got to talk about some news. Before we do, actually, Dave, anything else going on in your world? We haven't caught up in a while. So what's up?
Dude, it has been a minute. Let's see. Well, believe it or not, I know I'm not on Twitter, but the podcast is still going. And I did have Angela McArdle on.
I saw that. It's
2
on my
nights ago.
to watch list.
That was really great. She's spectacular. I'm feeling still kind of riding high from the old reset there in Reno. I
Did
got
you
Reed
ask
coming on
her
next
about
week.
Michael Malice and the Twitter keys?
I didn't. I did ask her about her experience on that show, which I think is monumental that she even got to go there, like day 2 of being
Are you
on the
talking
job.
about Tim Pool? Or
No,
Malice?
that's great too.
Oh, yeah,
but
she was on
Malice,
that. Yeah.
Malice is more of, he couldn't give a shit about the LP
Sure.
like 2 days before that. So that's pretty big.
That's true. I mean, he's been schmoozing around with Dave, and Dave's been, piquing his interest if the thing.
Right.
It seemed like he was at the point where he was like, if it works, I'm down
Then I'll come
to
in.
hang, which I get that. But, yeah. What else? I cut you off there. Was there something else?
No, it's cool. Let's see, man. Delaware's thriving. We just sponsored a race car. Like, they put our logo on the front fender, so we're gonna go have a nice social and hang out with the race car driver.
You talking
like a
about
week or
LP
two.
Delaware sponsored it?
LP Delaware. Yeah, we're
Dope.
getting in there, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. We're doing the damn thing. Angela helped us out a couple weeks ago getting our ballot access back from those stooges.
Yeah.
They just started a new political party in Delaware, which is great because they can have their own thing and be together, and we can have ours and have the libertarian name, and everybody's happy.
Absolutely. That's awesome, dude. Well, let's do this. We are limited on time to some extent. I mean, we've got like 3 hours, and I don't think we would exceed that, but I would love to not go that long today if we don't have to, because I have to do another show after this. But I will not skimp. We will dig. We will dig into all the things, because it's been a long time since I've done a news episode. Did one on the 4th of July with my brother, but that was kind of just a half-assed hangout. We're going to dig a little deeper today. And we normally start out with the good news because I normally say, okay, I am not joking this time. Normally I say it's good news and then it ends up being bad news. This is legitimately bad news that we're going to start out with, not because I want to start off on a sad tone, but because I think it needs to be addressed, and I haven't had a chance to really address it. But first article is Greg Glier. Greg Glier. For those of you that have listened to the show since the beginning, all 3 of you, you're familiar with Greg Glier, and I had him on episodes 8 and then again on episode 66. So he was like way back in the very early days of the show. Dave, are you familiar with Grit?
Only because I've never heard him talk on behalf of DonorSee, but I've heard Tom Woods speak of DonorSee and of him a couple times, and then I've just heard the name be floated around, but no, not until the story.
Yeah,
really.
So we'll play the clip. Most of you probably already know what happened, but I think it's interesting to get the local news coverage and see what they're saying about it. So here we go. Maybe if it plays, it won't. It never does. We'll refresh. This comes from NBCWashington.com, so you know it's legit. But okay, here we go.
In a high-profile. Now to new clues in a high-profile murder. An Arlington man is now charged in connection to the murder of Greg Glier. The founder of DonorSee was shot to death inside his home last Friday. Police tell us the suspect shot Glier several times here on Bolton Village Court while he slept next to his wife. News 4's Paul Wagner has the developments today from court.
Fairfax City Police say they began to focus on Joshua Dana.
So, first off, let me ask, does that seem like the mugshot of a guy that just killed a guy because he was angry and jealous of his wife?
Nope.
What does that seem like to you? Just speculating, as we do here.
He seems like he's probably mentally ill.
Yeah.
By that face. And probably, I don't know. I could speculate, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speculate too much on people that I kind of knew, but I mean, we speculated back then when I had him on the show many times of how he talked about how much the powers that be and their quote unquote non-for-profits did not like his efforts. If you're not familiar with what DonorSee was, it was like a whatever charity thing where instead of like the Red Cross and stuff like that, or even like sponsor a child or whatever, where you send them money and they send you like one picture of the kid and you never really know what your money's doing or where it goes. He made a platform called DonorSee where you see videos or pictures of the people and the struggle that they're having and somebody explaining it, and then it says how much they need to deal with that thing. Like somebody, like children literally starving to death in third world countries and diseases and stuff like that. They would show you a family, and then you donate to that, and then you would see the direct impact that your money is having. And they would send you back videos of the child flourishing or whatever, or if the child, like I've had several that I donated to where the child died, even still, because they were just past the point of no return, and they send you a letter saying, here, we gave your money to this other child that's experiencing similar issues or whatever. So amazing guy, amazing company, and he was like 32 or 30, early 30s, something like that, like younger than me, who started this thing and was literally changing the world, and his whole story just blew my mind when I had him on. And like I've even had conversations with, like when it comes to like church people and stuff like that, about like tithes and offering and stuff like that. It's like, why would I give money to a church building here in America where we're all fat and happy when, if I was going to, like, the Bible talks about tithes and offering and stuff like that, and we talk about like 10%. I'm like, if I was going to give 10% to something, I feel like it has more value here and more, I don't know, impact, or maybe, I don't know, like if God told me, hey, you need to give 10% to me or the church or whatever, I feel like that means more likely saving people from dying than paying for a church building in America. But what do I know? But yeah, this happened. He was shot dead. This was like, I found out the first day at PorkFest. And the first day at PorkFest last year, I found out that John McAfee died. So maybe I won't go to PorkFest next year because Dave might be in trouble. I don't know. So yeah, it's just like the whole thing is really, really fucked up. And I took it hard. Not that I knew him like super personally, but like just it's like when Robin Williams died. I never met Robin Williams or talked to Robin Williams, but I don't want to live in a world where Robin Williams kills himself. Like where Robin Williams is so depressed, actually, this guy that brought us so much joy, that he kills himself. I definitely don't want to live in a world where somebody who literally has dedicated his entire life to making the world a better place, and doing so humbly to the extent that people didn't know his name. Libertarians at PorkFest didn't know his name. Like, that's freaking tragic, because you may have saw my Twitter tirade the other night about it, but like, I don't care about your politics at the end of the day. Like, this guy was doing it. We're here on Twitter arguing about what the best libertarian principles are, and this guy was just living it. I don't even know if he described himself as libertarian. I know that he ran in a lot of libertarian circles because he was living out the values, and we definitely need more people doing that, but I understand why you might not at this point, because you might get murdered. Who knows? But Dave, do you have any thoughts on this ramble?
Yeah, man. First, I'm really sorry. I know you said you didn't know him well, but still, like, we should all be really upset and alarmed by this.
Right.
And you and I, we could easily go into just the theatrical conspiracy theory mode. We don't even need to, bro.
Yeah, I do, but I don't need to.
We can. I just, in the name of like just being like having good tact. Like, sure. That's just not what we need to do here. Like, I feel like unless somebody is insinuating that this guy had ties with some bad people or he was involved with some bad things, then this was a contracted hit on a man, regardless of whatever. And like you said, dude, this guy was only trying to make the world a better place. So I think most people, if you ask, libertarian or not, hey, is the world in good shape? They're going to go, no, it's not in good shape. And you want to assume that if somebody had a solution to some of the things that were ailing the world, that at least, the very least, you can expect is that they won't be blockaded or murdered from having some like real life practical solutions to the problems that we face. And
murdered in his home, in his bed in the middle of the night, sleeping next to his wife with his kid and his newborn, like in the next room, in like a small town where there hasn't been a murder in like 50 years or something like that. Like, it's not like he was, when you say, unless he was involved in some shady shit, I'm like, I don't know. Look at him. you can just, there are some faces where you can just tell. He's like a baby face.
I will
kid
judge that book by its cover, and I will say that guy is a normal dude doing good things, living a happy life.
Yeah. And everybody go to DonorSee.com. They do have a donation page to help support his family. He is, his wife is still alive, and his brand newborn baby, and their kid still alive. So they're struggling right now, and there's a fundraiser going on right now to help them out. So please go donate to that. And after you're done donating to that, even if it keeps you from joining my Patreon or Dave's Patreon or whoever's Patreon, like, go help struggling families. Because yes, we are. I have my hardships in life of not being able to get super chats, but this woman's husband was just murdered, and he's a very great dude, or he was a very great dude. After you're done supporting that, take the rest of your money and go find somebody who's struggling on DonorSee, because I was honestly like, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, just thinking about, or I guess it would have been like right before this happened, I was thinking about Gret, and I was like, I haven't donated in a while. I should donate, and maybe I should get Gret back on and see what's going on. And here we are. But, we don't need to spend too much time on depressing things. I just think it's important for libertarians to, at the very, very least, know who the fuck this guy was and know his name, because he was doing the work, and he wasn't asking for the credit, and he wasn't asking for people to know his name. He was asking for people to put their money where their mouth is and help people who are in dire need. So there's that. Anyway, if we're good on that, are you good on that, Dave? Are you sad yet?
Yeah, man. No. Sad
listen, enough for jokes.
I'm glad you. Hey, I can mix it up, bro. I ain't scared. But I'm glad that you brought that up. And yeah, I want everybody to remember his name. I want, if you recall that great speech that Angela gave at a convention and Maj gave at convention, they talked about the dangers that we're facing. And some people who do more than what we do, talk shit about the state. Some people like really, really push it, whether they know it or not. You fuck with their money, dude. I'm telling you, they don't like that.
Right.
If you fuck with the narrative big time, like those guys who made Gray State, you fuck with the narrative, they will do the worst things imaginable, man. And rest in peace, Gret. And I hope that DonorSee continues and
absolutely
helps a lot of people.
Yeah, and at the end of that video clip, that news clip, they do talk to the new interim, that's the word, right? CEO. So they are, it seems as though they're planning on continuing, which is great, even though, man, that would suck. What do we got in the chats? We got anything in the chats? Oh, Sharron is yelling at me about something. I don't know what. And that I care very much. She says, Dan, you shut your mouth. I guess she's, it seems really, I don't know, really insensitive to be yelling at me to shut my mouth as I talk about a dead man, Sharron. But thank you. Whatever. Let me see. Thank you. No more sadness. I'm out of wine, says Sharron. Yep. It is like, I don't know, what, 2:30 your time, so I'm surprised you made it this far with your wine. But let's talk about some fun things anyway. Speaking of, it's going to be a tough segue here. Speaking of monstrous people, not Gret, but the other guy, the MK Ultra guy, I mean, the guy who killed him, whatever. Whatever, we'll just jump into this. From dailymail.co.uk, fuck America. That's a quote. From Green Day star Billy Joe Armstrong. He says he's renouncing his U.S. citizenship during London concert in wake of SCOTUS overruling Roe. And I'm not going to read this article because I know what it says, and it's just this a bunch of times, I'm sure. I just wanted to bring this up because when I saw this headline, I was like, that there's like more to renouncing your citizenship than just declaring it. Like, it's not like Michael Scott declaring bankruptcy, where he just shouts, "I declare bankruptcy." But great, fine. You can. Does anybody care that this guy doesn't want to be an American because we can't kill babies in every state anymore?
He doesn't want to be an American idiot, but
Right.
he is.
Right. How has this band gotten away with, or not been canceled for, "Maybe I'm the Faggot America" line that is in like their most popular song?
I think it's because they toe the line. It's
because of this shit.
Like Robert Downey Jr. didn't get busted for blackface in 2008 because he does what they want him to do now, as far as sustainability, veganism, equity, all the shit.
Yep.
If you do that, then you can have your career.
Quote, "Fuck America. I'm fucking renouncing my citizenship. I'm fucking coming here. Armstrong," what? I'm fucking coming here? What does that mean? Armstrong told the I don't want to know. Armstrong told the London stadium crowd Friday night, quote, "There's too much fucking stupid," he likes that word, "in the world to go back to the miserable fucking excuse of a country." Oh, so he was outside of America and he was like, "I'm not going home. I'm coming here." Where was he? Exactly. He was in London or something? Yeah.
Yeah. Different store, same groceries, buddy.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I don't know. I don't know what their abortion laws are there, but good luck to you, sir. Good luck aborting your London kids or whatever you're planning on doing. I don't know. It's all so stupid. We haven't talked about the Roe v. Wade stuff, I don't think. Dave, have we? What are you?
No,
you got quick
it's been a
thoughts?
while. Yeah, I think, and again, man, this is my conspiracy mind, but when I hear the things, like the stuff that they are putting out about the Second Amendment, it's like, oh, that's very encouraging. It's like the abortion stuff. Oh, that's very encouraging. The EPA stuff. It's like, oh, that's very encouraging. But this goes against like the nature of the state, which is that they're not going to give you things that you like. So at the end of the day, I tend to think that they're bringing this stuff to the forefront so that they can codify it in their own post-constitutional way. That's my inclination.
Pull it back just slightly and get people enraged about that so that when it comes back, it's all hands on deck. Let's go baby killing. Yeah, Rage Against the Machine was really pissed off about it too. I don't have it pulled up, but did you see those clips of them at their first show in 11 years and they've got like text on the screen behind them? Did you see that?
No, I did hear that they are very upset about some of the state relaxing some power.
They're really mad with I don't remember what they called it. They wouldn't even say women's rights or something. It was like birthing person's rights or something like that. So like these very edgy guys are too scared to even say the word woman when talking about abortion, which is a hilariously defeating place that we find ourselves now, where we don't know whose rights we're arguing in favor of, because not only it's like abortion is a woman's right, and it could also be like other human, just not even human. I don't know. It's people's rights to kill. I don't know. It's tough.
Then again, no uterus, no opinion, though. So careful.
Well, I don't even know if you can say that anymore. I mean, that's probably offensive because they've probably. I mean, men without uteruses can have periods. I guess that's what I hear on the internet.
Saying that is almost a tool of the patriarchy.
Right.
Oh, man.
So whatever. The Rage Against the Machine is raging for the machine, or like the machine relinquished from at least surface level. Roe v. Wade being overturned is the machine relinquishing a little bit of power back to the people, or at least the states. And Rage Against the Machine is really mad that the machine gave up some of its power. So it's beautiful. And Billy, whatever his fucking name is, 55-year-old dude in eyeliner, whatever his name is. Yeah, not very American of him. But what is American is what happened in Minecraft recently. Did you hear about the Danish government and the Minecraft incident, Dave?
No.
You're going to like this one. So the Danish government created an entire country in Minecraft. I don't know if it was their country or whatever. I haven't read the article. That's the professionalism. But they created an entire country in Minecraft, and wouldn't you know it, the Americans, as they are, users promptly blow it up and plant American flag.
Man.
This is the country that they created, and they demolished, like, the users just came in, flattened it out, and put up a bunch of American flags, which I find to be absolutely beautiful and hilarious.
We are pirates. Let's stop fucking around. We're fucking pirates. That's right. What our lineage is.
Yep. I doubt we need to read this because who cares? The Danish whatever agency recently recreated the entire country of Denmark. So it was Denmark. That's the only reason I want to read it. But 1-by-1 scale, which that would have taken some time. I hope they saved a backup. But wow. That's some dedication to your nerdship. I am curious, like, what was your intention in creating the entire country of Denmark within Minecraft?
Right. To like war game stuff out, like see how programs go in the Minecraft verse, and then you can apply them to the real world.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, but we are going to move on to everybody's favorite segment, and this is an article that I was going to pull up for this segment, and then I was like, that would work perfectly for that segment, but that segment is usually where people send me links, and nobody sent me this link, and then lo and behold, like the next day, somebody sent me this link. Heffalumswoozle sent me this, actually, who's a Patreon member, Downers Club member. But this is the segment where you send in things, and we call it...
This program was made possible by viewers like you.
Hey, get what you deserve!
All your days are belong to us.
No one can stop us from enjoying this, so enjoy it! Stop crying!
Yes. Stop crying. It is the Freak of the Week segment where you submit your most ridiculous articles. By the way, that reminds me, CD sent in something, and CD, I'm not doing it. I'm not clicking that link. No, not doing it. I don't remember what it was. It was like some, I don't remember, booty something. And I was like, I'm good. I'm good, okay? So I won't necessarily read everything that you guys send, but if you send me something that I find entertaining, that's really the criteria here. So from CBSNews.com, so you know it's legit. This was going around yesterday.
Yes.
The I voted sticker. This is, let me see. Teens unusual I voted sticker with a big head and 6 legs has 93% of votes in design contest. So this county board had just put together a contest for a new I voted sticker that kids could design, which what did you think was going to happen when you did that? Of course, somebody's going to submit something stupid. And when somebody does submit something stupid, of course, why wouldn't everybody vote for that? Because we have nothing to lose. And this is exactly how all politics should be. Vote for the ridiculous thing that you think has no chance because at the very least, it'll be funny as hell. So this is what the, I think, 14-year-old boy came up with, which is a monster with rainbow-colored teeth and bloodshot eyes with bags and crazy hair and spider legs. It says, I voted.
The best part about it is I love this so much. Amy Lepore in Delaware was so excited about this. She put this in the group. The best part about it is, dude, is that it shits on the thing that it's trying to promote, which is democracy. It's like, oh, like everybody gets a voice. Like, yes, everybody does. Right. And we want the retarded.
And this is what we want. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like, all the presidential elections as well. I mean,
buddy.
We all voted these people in, didn't we? Or it's kind of like, as I've pointed out many times, the problem, the case in point problem with ranked choice voting, as wonderful or better of a situation or a system as that would be, that is what gave us Joe Jorgensen for president in 2020. So instead of Joe Jorgensen, they have a spider monster. But this is great, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and this kid's a hero. And that's pretty much all I have to say about it. And I look forward to meeting him in person someday and shaking his hand. This is from the county government. It says, we love that our county-wide youth I voted sticker design contest is garnering so much attention this year. It's only garnering attention because of this ridiculousness. Says, we hope our civic engagement campaign will inspire even more youth-oriented initiatives in elections offices across the country. It's funny that
they mean that. Do you think they mean that? They might mean it because like it did really garner a lot of attention for their city and they might mean that.
They might, but at the same time, I'm sure they're like, we can't use this.
It can't
right?
We like democracy, not this kind of democracy. Right. We'll have to edit it. Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like, Trump or Biden. It's like, yeah, Trump's winning and stuff, but we can't really do that again, right?
Yeah.
I should put this on a T-shirt because that's just my favorite design ever. Just the chaoticness or the chaotic neutralness of just, yes, I will play your game and I will win at it by being the worst. It's great. I love it. Yeah, kid. If somebody knows that kid, tell him to hit me up. Get him on the show. I'm down. What's his name? I don't know.
He would love it. You could get him on here for sure.
Yeah, I should try. 14-year-old named Hudson Rowan. Cool. Anybody in the chat's got anything? Shannon said no, it was raunchy. I guess she's talking about the kid, or I don't know if she's talking about the kid or Gret, but I'm gonna pretend like I think that it's Gret. Let me see. Nathan Klein says you might have. I don't. Okay, so it's been a while. I didn't lay out the rules here. If you want me to actually read your comment out loud or have a greater chance of likelihood of me reading it out loud, put fake super chat in all bold or all caps, and then put your comment so that I'm not reading through your conversations amongst each other. Please, by all means, talk amongst yourselves. It's helpful to the algorithm. But yeah, if you want me to read it, put fake super chat, and I might. And if you're in the Downers Club, I might more likely. But we're gonna move on. Unless Dave has anything else on Monster Vote sticker.
Nah, he's the best. Rock on.
Right on. So we're going to talk now. We're going to go through a couple things fairly quickly. Because there's a lot that I've missed, and a lot of it is conspiratorial, or it could be conspiratorial, or it definitely is conspiratorial, or all of those things. Cern. Y'all remember Cern? From back in the day. There was never any issues with Cern. Never any, like, shady dealings or anything going on with Cern. But when Cern launched a couple years ago, there were some videos circulating around, like this one, where there's like people walking in slow motion and dressed in underwear and like angels and dancing around and looking like ghosts. And just
Cern put this out?
You're not familiar with this?
No.
This is from a while ago. Yeah, this was the last time they fired it up that this was going around. This was the opening ceremony for Cern.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And it gets weirder. There's like a portal.
Oh, I remember this outside. Yeah, I do remember this.
There's a portal. There's like creatures with antler or like horns and things and half naked people running around. Like this is definitely not a religious ritual of people running around naked and flying through the air. This is clearly just an opening ceremony for a very normal science experiment where we're trying to open a portal to find the God particle, as we do as people. Dave, any thoughts on Cern?
Yeah, I was trying... Dude, man. I wish that I would have put this together before. But yeah, I try to just be as generous as I can. I'm like, we're conspiracy theorists, fine. You're just up to some regular old sciencey shit. And then you compound it with this, and you got to throw all that out the window.
Right.
Because it seems like you're trying to discredit that. Like this does not look like a professional government run, whatever operation. It looks like fucking street theater.
No, it's not even street theater. It's a big production, but it is like... It is a massive, creepy art piece that they're doing at the very least in order to open, like, the opening ceremony of something. Like, when I say trying to open portals and find the God particle, that's not conspiracy theory. That's their stated goal.
Right.
So you combine just that information alone with this being your opening ceremony. You put the two together. Like, I had a guy who I'm friends with who works in politics, but he's not, like, big into the conspiracy stuff. He hit me up when all the Cern buzz was going on the other day, and he was like, so I feel like I should know more about this Cern thing. What do you got? I'm open to it, I guess. And I sent him this video, and I'm like, need I say anything else? Like, this happened several years ago. I don't know if there's a new one or anything, but this was the last time they fired it up with just horrifying imagery and stuff. You would think it was a Travis Scott concert.
Yeah, dude, this is like something Maynard from Tool would put on. Like, it's
right.
So bizarre.
Like a 9 Inch Nails show or something.
Right. It's just I don't know. I reminded that Thor said in that one movie, it's like, you guys think that you call it science, or whatever you call it, magic, and it's really the same thing or whatever like that.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like these guys, dude. The Satanists have been in the deepest levels of government since at least the 80s.
Right.
Like that's guys have been on Oprah Winfrey, like open Satanists. So like I wonder how much of the magic and science is mixed up. Seeing shit like this.
Yeah.
Dude, where did the budget come from? Why is
Right.
this necessary for your experiment? What does this have to do with particle collision? It's pretty
It's like
amazing.
the particle collision was unnerving to begin with before this.
Sure.
And looking at the comments here, there's a lot of people that haven't seen this. I'm now finding out.
Dude, the particle collision makes me nervous, but this makes me more like this compounded on top of that makes it way worse.
Either one separately makes me nervous.
Yeah.
And now they're together. This is old, and but they just, as Murder Beam said in the comments, a lot of Baphomet imagery, and somebody said the last time they fired it up, we got Trump. So if you think it's just conspiracy theory, then how the hell do you explain Trump?
Yeah, right. Is this Baron Trump's fucking time machine?
Yes. Yes, that's it.
How about that?
Baron went back in time and made his dad president. But yeah, dude, like they fired it back up, and apparently this was just like last week. They were firing it up again, and they're planning on leaving it on for like 4 years this time instead of firing it up and shutting it back down like they did before. Which I don't know how these things work, really. I'm not that like smart on it. I don't need to really know to know that there's something going on here, but
if y'all could quit letting the demons through the interdimensional door, that would just be great. We have our fill.
Great.
Shit.
I mean, I would like to believe that they're going to find a better timeline, a better universe or something. But a lot of people speculated, a lot of conspiracy people, and we speculated back in the day, all these Mandela effect stuff, or like we've done some debunking of some Mandela effect stuff even, but a lot of people speculate that, these things that we remember vividly from our childhood that are now different and you can't find any recollection of them, you might not believe that there are other like dimensions or realms or whatever, but these people do. The people in charge do.
And they've got a lot of a lot of power, and it seems like they might have some abilities that they're not sharing with the rest of us.
Yep. So fired it back up, and I'm not saying it's related, but there's a lot of weird shit that's been going on in the news lately. All of a sudden, not that that's that different from normal life, or at least normal life since Cern fired up the last time, but lots of shootings over the last couple of weeks. Not that they're necessarily related. I'm not even joking. I'm not even like implying that they might be related. They could be, but I'm not saying that, but they could be. I don't have any of the shootings pulled up because there's too many to count. But Dave, these shootings, there was one in Texas where the cops were too much of bitches to go in and do their jobs because they were waiting for it to be safe when a mass shooter is shooting a bunch of children, and they were stopping mothers from going in and saving their own children. They were literally basically what I would call aiding and abetting a mass shooter by not even allowing other people to go in and stop it. Do you have anything that okay, so let me explain. Some of these, I just want your thoughts on them because I haven't dug into them that deeply, and I want to know if you know anything more than me. If you don't, that's fine. But do you have anything else on that one?
I probably don't know more than you on the Uvalde cops, but yeah, I would.
Well, I forgot the name of the place, so
I know a little bit more than you.
You're helping.
Yeah. I'm here for you, buddy. I think that
You're better than Travis.
They should be prosecuted. They should probably be fired. They should be arrested. Absolutely. But the qualified immunity thing, and it's not, again, we already know this, constitution or according to the law, they don't have to help anybody. They don't have to do anything. It says serve and protect on the car. They literally don't have to do that.
Right.
So they can. It only shocks people when it's in practice. Like there's an emergency, kids are dying, and you're standing there. Perfectly legal. So the system has to change. Those guys are all obviously pieces of shit. But I definitely tend to believe that whatever they're trying to push that came after that specifically, like that they use these things. So I'm not saying that there was a guaranteed false flag or whatever, but yeah, the FBI is usually, we had them on the radars. Like, we kind of like, they kind of steer the stuff at the very least. And Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
really, my brain hasn't even gone to like conspiracy on this one. I haven't dug into it that deeply, but I wasn't even thinking about it conspiratorially because you don't have to. These guys had a job to protect these kids, and instead they protected the shooter at that point. So yeah, it's fucked
for like
up.
many hours, like 2 hours, right? There was like out
It
there
was a while.
stopping people, stopping parents.
I've heard different accounts. The least, the smallest amount though was like 40-something minutes, and that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Like,
You had one job. You got one
right.
job.
If somebody was breaking into your house, like if there was one person breaking into your house and you called the cops and they stood outside for 40 minutes, you'd be like, we got some problems here. But and then your neighbor comes over or your mom comes and she's like, let me get in there to help my child. No, we're going to arrest you. There's also the Highland Park shooting up in Chicagoland area where guns are illegal, so he must not have noticed the signs. That one in particular is very strange. It's very much disappeared since then, but there was a lot of back and forth of, oh, he was a Trump supporter, oh, he was a whatever Antifa guy. Like everybody's using it for their political purposes or whatever is convenient. It seemed more like he was I think he said something about being a communist or something like that. So let that be what it is. But I don't really care. It seemed to me like the dude was mentally shattered and he was like planning this thing, and then he went to a gun-free zone and shot up a bunch of people. And that's really bad for, the whole anti-gun lobby that's going on right now. So that one disappeared real quick. Do you have any thoughts on that one, Dave?
And yeah, I know even less about that one, but yeah, I imagine because it's in Chicago and that's already usually the go-to for pro 2A arguments. Right. It's like, yo, all your shit is illegal. You still have more people that die from gun violence here than anywhere else. Yeah. And yeah, just like Las Vegas, man, once it doesn't fit the right-wing, racist, nationalist, Trumpist narrative, bury that.
Right. Yeah. And similarly, the whatever his name is, what's his name? Shinzo Abe, the Japanese whatever leader. Like I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about Japanese politics or whatever, but this guy who was the leader, he was like loved by a lot of people. People have said that he was kind of the Trump of Japan, where he was kind of the, I don't know, more conservative leader or whatever, and a lot of people hated him for it, and a lot of people loved him for it. He just got shot in the back and assassinated a couple days ago, and then leftists came out and were like, well, he was a Trump friend, so he was bad or something after their leader, one of their former leaders was assassinated, which I think is, I don't know, interesting. Did you hear about this, Dave? Do you know anything?
I did hear about it, and I, like you, don't know much about their politics. I know that Japan is like one of the top 5 or 8, like they have the least amount of violent crime,
right?
And the least amount of gun crime. Like I think again, like top 5, top 8, something like that. I did know that he was like pals with Trump. So
do they have the least amount of gun crime or the most amount of gun laws?
Definitely, I think they have the most strict laws, but they also have like maybe 10 gun murders per year.
So
like
they're working.
So I guess you could say that they're working. But once you contrast that with other countries that are in that too, it's like they don't all follow the same strict guidelines. So it's not necessarily that. But this guy made a gun out of some pipe, some tape, some wood. So again,
really,
like in my best Jeff Goldblum voice, like nature finds a way.
Yeah.
Like it's not about the gun, it's about the desire to do something awful.
Right.
But the part about him being like a populist for Japan and the part about him being kind of Trumpian in nature makes me, and again, I don't know about their politics, but probably, not just some crazy guy. What you know about Japan is that they appreciate order and, I don't know, man, they probably wouldn't want a populist leader coming in. You probably want somebody a little bit on the opposite end of that, and you got to take care of that somehow. Yeah. That's where I'm leaning.
For sure. I do have to ask you about, because I haven't dug into this at all. I just saw the one clip, but people are talking about Sri Lanka. They have an uprising and an insurrection, and they're putting January 6th to shame. Do you know anything about that, Dave? Can you inform me?
I heard from Angela the other night because she knew more than I did. I asked her what her thoughts were. What's the libertarian position on this huge pool party at the palace in Sri Lanka? And she had mentioned that I think that they were in some kind of like a monetary crisis, and maybe the people had really caught wind of that, and that's what led to that. I don't know about that, but yeah, I did see a bunch of footage, and it looked like a mostly non-violent protest to me in the palace. People just chilling, laying on the bed, putting their feet up and stuff. But yeah, if you're gonna do it right.
Were they stealing podiums too? Because that's where I draw the line personally.
I don't think it didn't look like they were looting, stealing, destroying anything. Kind of like the 1-6 guys, but they, unlike the 1-6 guys, got their rulers to flee the country, and we didn't do that. So
really. Like, I honestly don't know anything about this. I just saw the clip, and that's it.
As far as I know, dude, their president or their leader got on a plane, like, quickly. I was like, I'm out of here. So
guys, I'm not like, I think January 6th was dumb, really dumb. Okay, and I'm not encouraging anything here, but if you're gonna do it,
commit.
Take notes.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. So they're like penetrating the security and everything over there in Sri Lanka, and I forgot that I'm supposed to do ads somewhere here. So speaking of penetrating security, here's Asteros.
Today's episode is sponsored by Asteros Cybersecurity Services. These days, organizations of all sizes are targets for cyber criminals, disgruntled employees, or even nation-state attackers. Asteros performs cybersecurity services providing expert guidance to help organizations defend against threats and protect their data. Asteros specializes in penetration testing, where they perform ethical hacking on networks, web apps, or organizations as a whole to simulate what an attacker would do and plug the discovered holes before anyone malicious finds and exploits them. Asteros also specializes in vulnerability management, security awareness training, phishing simulations, cloud security audits, compliance readiness assessments, and much more. As technology expands, it becomes easier and easier to run a business, but if your security is not growing along with your company, then you're going to run into problems. If you don't personally have a company of your own, definitely pass this information along to someone who does, because for a limited time, Asteros is offering companies an attack surface audit completely free. Let Asteros discover potential entry points to your network and how susceptible your company or organization is to cyber attacks. To learn more and to take advantage of this essential offer, just go to asteros.com/free. That's Asteros, ASTEROS.com/free.
In other things that Dave might know more about than me, the satanic Georgia Guidestones partially destroyed in early morning bombing recently. Now, this one is kind of a conundrum for me, because did anybody know what the Georgia Guidestones were? Did anybody know about these things before they were destroyed, or am I just dumb? Did you know about these things?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I hadn't even heard about them, even as a conspiracy guy. Yeah.
I'm surprised. Okay. No,
or maybe I heard about them in passing and never looked into what they were or assumed it was whatever. But yeah, tell me what you know, Dave.
So I probably heard about those things on Alex Jones's show like 10 or 15 years ago. But yeah, it's somewhere outside of Atlanta.
Which is only like 20 years after they were made, which I find odd to find out.
It's 1980, right? I think they
Something
were.
like that. It was in the 80s, yeah.
They were put up, and I love that some people say, like, yo, this was because it was the Cold War and they were putting these up in case, I guess this is the blue-pilled explanation, in case of nuclear fallout, they want something to be left behind that people could find and base society off of. What I can't remember everything on there.
Put it on giant pillars in Georgia.
Right. My suspicion is Ted Turner, because I feel like that guy's been in with the feds since CNN, which was about right then. That's where he set up shop. It's the new Hollywood. Lots of reasons to suspect that. Plus, he's his billions. And they don't know. They won't say who paid for it, which, there's only so many people that could get away with that in that area. But yeah, I know that.
How do you not? Like, how do you not say, hey, we're putting up these, mysterious obelisks with instructions on future, and nobody's taking credit for it. They just came mysteriously out of nowhere, and they're just there. I don't know. It's very odd.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it one bit. They call for a world language to unify the people. They say to maintain the planet at under 500 million, I think.
So what you're saying is, if there's a nuclear holocaust, make sure you guys don't overpopulate the Earth. That's going to be our big concern.
Big concern, exactly. Right. That was my argument. I'm arguing with some NPC, which I shouldn't on Facebook because that's how you get booted off platforms. Yeah. But I'm like,
and
no,
it's a
they're
waste
calling
of time.
Totally. They're calling to cull the population by, 90%. They're like, where does it say that? I'm like, well, we have 7 billion and it calls for 500 million. So
right.
They're like, oh, no, they're just saying like if you had to start over. But yeah, exactly.
But if you had to start over, you can't start over with like more than what you
fucking.
I'm confused.
Not your concern. Yeah, you're not concerned
right.
about that.
And if we wipe out the like most of humanity, when you guys get back together, just make sure that you're all globalists. All right, just literally,
we're gonna want to start
global currencies, global governments. Just the way things are now. Like it's talking about rebuilding, but it's giving these hypotheticals of what would work better than what we have now, and it's like, and you went with like the most massive possible government options for if you were to rebuild things that haven't been done, and we don't know if they work or not. I guess that argument could be made about libertarians too, but I digress. But yeah, to be like, we tried humanity once and we failed. So when you guys get back together, just make sure it's more government, okay? Just make sure there's more of that.
That's what you're going to need to do.
Yep, but somebody blew it up, which who knows who. The guy wasn't caught, I don't think. There was a shot of like a van that drove away, an explosion. But no, for some reason, nobody knows who blew it up. And then they demolished it right after. So they blew up one of them, and then they demolished the rest of it, which I think is strange as well, that they just took them all down. I don't know. Dave, do you think do you think that this was all on the up and up here? Or a better question, what motivation do you think somebody would have to blow up the Georgia Guidestones?
Well, there's certainly lots of motivation. Certainly if you believe, dude, if you're anywhere from where me and you are to like Lauren Witzke, which is like the satanic pedophile elite is taking over the planet, Alex Jones stuff.
It's like where
anywhere,
I am? Just kidding.
Yeah, sure. I mean, basically, come on.
Maybe. I'm kidding. I'm not sure anymore.
I know. Yeah, we kind of have different names for different terms, but they're kind of like pointing at the same shit there. Right. So yeah, I mean, she's on Instagram and Facebook like applauding it. I think she just said, this is the work of God. Jesus Christ is speaking right now because this is the devil. I wouldn't maybe use those plain terms.
Yeah.
But I understand her excitement. But I also, and this is, Angela, who was on the show the other night, in her infinite wisdom, you don't typically, like with taking down statues and things like that of the past couple years or whatever, taking down shit that you don't like, it's not necessarily something I feel good about cheering on. However, if I'm being honest, I think these statues suck. I don't like the messages on them. Mm-hmm. I kind of like, it felt like red meat to me, like, yeah, when they came down. I'm not going to deny that,
sure.
But I want to kind of, as a human being, try to control those impulses to just destroy shit.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I'm pretty stoked. Even as somebody who didn't really know that much about them or know anything about them before it happened, when I found out about them, I'm like, dope.
Dude, I fucking understand that completely.
I mean, taking down like statues of, I don't know, political figures or stuff like that, I'm like, that's debatable. But this is like just shadowy, like shadow government shit right here, where it's like, this is not like a monument or a shrine to anybody or anything. It's just
this doesn't represent a whole people. This represents a guy's thoughts.
This is how, if we fuck this up, we become powerful again shortly after, if all goes according to plan.
And honestly, dude, the libertarian, this is what I said to Angela anyway. I was like, look, if no one is claiming this as their property, then no one's property rights were violated. Take that motherfucker out with a rocket launcher if you want to. Who cares?
I'm sure it's on somebody's property. Do we even know whose property it's on? Is it on like public?
I think this is public property.
Okay. Yeah.
Which means it's me and yours, dude.
Right on. Yeah. I didn't do it, but I'm not going to shed a tear over whoever did. I just think it seems like it's very interesting that all these things are happening like right around the Cern time. Not necessarily that Cern is involved, but it seems like there's a big push that people are starting to wake up and see, the emperor has no clothes, not just in America, but all around the globe or world, flat globe, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, flat earthers.
Sorry, buddy. I saw those NASA pictures of the stars. They're looking real good, dude.
But yeah, just seeing all these different uprisings and things like that, where people are like, things are happening. Not, I guess, I can't think of the other ones. I remember hearing several things that tied together. I'm not saying like it's good that Shinzo Abe died or anything like that. Like, but just like there's tensions building between the two sides, and it seems like a lot of people are going more anti-authoritarian at the very least. Maybe not libertarian, but not liking things like the Georgia Guidestones being the guiding future of ours when nuclear holocaust happens, which we're going to talk more about nuclear holocaust in the after party. We'll get there, and we'll find out if the Georgia Guidestones will protect us. But we got to keep moving. Before we keep moving, there was a fake super chat here that I saw. Anthony Portobello or Portini, I don't know, says, how are you a conspiracy guy and you don't know about R.C. Christian? What is R.C. Christian? Do you know?
R.C. Christian? No, I know Anthony Portillo. He's cool.
Okay.
But no, I don't know. No, I don't know R.C. Christian though.
I don't know. You're gonna have to.
That's two conspiracy guys, bro, that don't know that. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, look, we've got porn bots in the chat. That's fun. Let's ban Naked HD XYZ. That's a legit person, I'm sure. Let's see. No other super chats. Sharon says, does this look like a podcast that wants sex bots? Be gone. Thank you, Sharon. I need to make Sharon a admin or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if she deserves that kind of power. It would probably go to her head, and she would be not only drunk on boxed wine, but she would be drunk on power. So let's move on. Unless you had anything else there. You good?
Oh, Anthony just said R.C. Christian is the guy who.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look more into that because I thought.
So you're like, Dan's stupid because he doesn't even know that nobody funded this, and Anthony's like, Dave's stupid because I do know
it was
who
just
funded
me.
this. Yeah.
Right.
I dig it.
It's
all good. So we got to keep going quickly. Good Lord. This is what we do here. Twitter situation with Musk. We've talked about that at length, so I have to at least bring up the fact that Elon Musk has bailed allegedly out of this deal, the $44 billion deal to purchase Twitter, and there are people speculating on, he bailed because there were too many bots, which I think is probably the case, and he realized that it didn't have enough value, and there are other people who are saying, no, this is just a 4D chess play that's going to make him... Shut up, dog.
Sorry, about
It's all good. She's part of this show. They're saying that this is a 4D chess play to get Twitter to have to like out themselves because they're taking Elon Musk to court for bailing on the deal, and if he bails on the deal and they take him to court, then Musk can be like, now we can put all this information out there to the public, blah blah blah. I don't know. I want to believe that, but I have coined the term Q-Elons for anybody who is that definitively hopeful. I'm fine with being skeptically optimistic and hoping that he has something up his sleeve, but at some point you got to be like, he's just kind of fucking around, and he's just got money to fuck around with, like the Dogecoin thing that he built up and hyped and then screwed over on SNL, that type of thing. But Dave, you got any thoughts on Elon Musk bailing?
Yeah, it is disappointing, though not shocking, because the whole thing was kind of Trumpian, and the thing about Trump was that it made you feel good. It's that red meat, it's that surge of endorphins and just fucking energy, and you get excited. But at the end of the day, I think they have something in common, and they're rich, powerful dudes who do stuff because they're bored, and just you try and have new conquests here and there, and see what you can get away with. Maybe I could be president. Who knows? Some say I'd be the best. I don't know.
Got a call this morning. He said best president ever.
I want Elon to be awesome. I love that he loves Spaceballs so much. That makes me have, I don't know, some kind of hope. But man, I don't know. I'm disappointed. I felt the positivity and I felt the change in Twitter when I was still on Twitter for that week.
Yeah,
like it felt different.
Right. It was literally only like a week tops where it was like Twitter or Elon Musk is working on buying Twitter, and we all thought he must have bought Twitter because this like shit turned around. People were getting more shares, and the Dems were losing followers and stuff like that. It's like something's going on here. Now it seems like that was more of a Twitter panicking and being like, undo those algorithms real quick, switch it back, and then now they're just like, we're good. We've got covered. Do you think that the U.S. government has anything to do with this deal? And because I've heard speculation, I think on Timcast, where they're talking about like, what if Twitter has an agreement with the United States government that they're not allowed to talk about at all? And Elon got involved in this deal, and then he gets into the deal, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know that was there. So goodbye."
Yeah,
I don't know. Think there's any involvement there?
That's more than likely, I would say. Yeah, if just knowing
you really want to love Elon, don't you?
Well, I do. I mean, it would be cool if he had it, but that's what I'm saying. Like the nature of, going back to the Supreme Court stuff, like the nature of the state goes a certain way. If the thing that you want like goes against that, like odds are you're not going to see that.
Right.
So like, oh man, like when people call for like, lock whoever up, Trump up, lock Hillary up. It's like I've never seen a bad guy go down.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like I wasn't.
Epstein did. He killed himself. So did his pimp.
Right.
They both
But
killed
he was
themselves.
just, Lex Wessner is doing just fine though. Right.
True.
And other people were doing just fine. All the people who used the services,
all of their clients,
are doing
every single one of them.
Fine. So somebody's got to take a fall. That's fine. But no, I mean, I'm not shocked that we're not going to get a champion for social media and free speech out of Elon Musk.
Speaking of Elon Musk, and speaking of people who are probably going to get away with probably being involved in Epstein, but we don't talk about it. Donald Trump, former president of the United States, Donald Trump, who definitely had nothing to do with Epstein. Disregard those pictures because they're inconvenient for your personal views. Donald Trump fires back after Elon Musk says it's time for him to sail into the sunset. Did you hear Donald Trump's response here? It's kind of beautiful.
I did hear a little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah. So Donald Trump, let me find the quote here, says, when Elon Musk came out to the White House asking me for help on all of his many subsidized projects, okay, whether it's electronic cars, frankly, that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere.
Rocket ships to nowhere.
Which is the name of my next album, obviously, Rocket Ships to Nowhere. Without which subsidies he'd be worthless, and telling me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican, I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it. Wow. So he's just like Elon's a bitch. That's basically what this is.
I hope that makes. I mean, I want more of that. If those guys go battle each other, that's only a win for us.
Right.
Like, I hope that he pisses off Elon enough to make him do something cool.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah, maybe it's 12D chess, and Donald Trump's using reverse psychology to try and get Elon Musk to actually backpedal out or in and around this deal with Twitter, where I don't know. But yeah, he goes.
I saw him talk about. He said something about, people are going to Truth Social. They're going on over there. Trust me.
There he
I
is.
love it.
Come find him. Yeah, he goes on to say, now Elon should focus on getting himself out of the Twitter mess because he could owe $44 billion for something that's perhaps worthless. Also, lots of competition for electric cars, he said. It's just like such. I mean, this is the only reason anybody wanted Trump in the White House or on Twitter or anywhere else. It was just for I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna speak my mind. Like, not that I agree with him on all this. I hope he trolls Elon into making, or I don't know. I hope Elon's playing 4D chess and he's gonna get a better deal out of this or whatever, and he's still gonna buy it. Sure, I'm not holding my breath because Q Elon's, but if Donald Trump can piss him off enough, I mean Elon's pretty chill. I doubt that it will have that effect if that's what he's actually going for. I don't know. Do you think that is what Trump is legitimately trying to get him to do? I doubt that he's trying to, but do you think that, or is it just Trump being Trump and bloviating and talking about how good Trump is?
That's probably more where I lean, like kind of promoting Truth Social at the same time of promoting himself, his own brand. Oh, he couldn't even close the deal. Who closes deals? Me.
Right.
Truth Social, 2024. Like, that's just, he couldn't get it done. I did. I don't know. I just think that's mostly what it is.
Absolutely. And speaking of Trump and speaking of Truth Social, this was up the other day from BusinessInsider.com. Trump left Truth Social board not long before it got hit with an SEC subpoena filing shows. Now, this sounds like an interesting story, like Trump is still pushing Truth Social, and Truth Social is apparently being subpoenaed. That sounds crazy, and Trump is obviously evading something, and blah, 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 whatever you want to make up. This is from July 8th, so maybe there's new information since I've read this, but I read this, and I couldn't find anywhere where it says that that's actually a true statement in the headline. Instead, they just spend the entire article kind of speculating on whether or not they're telling the truth in their headline. That is the only thing that most people will read. This is former President Donald Trump left the board of his social media firm Truth Social weeks before it was served with a federal subpoena, according to a June 8th filing with Florida Department whatever, blah, blah, blah. He was one of several departures along with his son, Donald Trump Jr., and other members. Who cares? The departures were first reported Thursday in some place. Now, they say it very definitively, but then it goes on to say, but Truth Social pushed back against reports on the filing in a statement claiming that Trump was still serving on the board as its chairman. Its statement suggested the reports were based a misunderstanding of the document. I'm guessing that's a typo because that's how journalism is these days. You don't have to have factual evidence or anything. You can just make up a headline and then not even proofread your work to make sure words aren't missing or whatever. Its statement suggests the reports were based on a misunderstanding of the document, but did not elaborate. Truth Social did not immediately respond to a request from Insider for more explanation. So they don't know. Somebody said one thing and somebody else said something else, and who really freaking cares until it actually happens? And honestly, if he is evading something, that's not that much different than how Trump probably ran business long before he was in the White House. So wouldn't it be that surprising? Right. It would be a bit of a blow, I would imagine, to Truth Social if Donald Trump's not there, which he's the only reason people were interested in Truth Social to begin with. Are you on Truth Social, Dave?
I am not, though. It's looking more and more appealing by the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I am not on it. I signed up for the initial release or whatever, where you get an email, and I don't think I ever got the email. I don't think I ever successfully signed up, and I think you have to download the app or something, and I just don't care. But if I got kicked off of Twitter, I probably would.
Dude, look, I signed up for Gab when I got kicked off Twitter 2 times ago, and going there is just sad.
Really?
It's not. I almost yes, it's just because when you compartmentalize the MAGA folks like that, when you ostracize them, it's all them,
right?
I don't want to be in the all MAGA place,
right?
I want to be with everybody, and shit on everybody.
And frankly, I would rather be on a platform where there are people that vehemently disagree with me, because what am I going to do? Troll people that, not that I agree with Trumpers, but if there's more libertarians on Gab or more, I don't know, small government people on Gab or anything, where's the fun in finding a bunch of people that agree with you? I'm honestly not looking for an echo chamber. I might not care about people's opinions that disagree with me all the time, but I enjoy Twitter for the trolling of people that disagree with me. So, yeah. I can see the value.
Twitter is cool. There's no Liberty Gab.
Right.
There's, you know what I mean? There's
Trump.
I'm not into it.
Trump Gab.
I go back to Instagram, dude. Instagram is the girl that I keep going back to after Twitter dumps me.
Man, I hate Instagram, and I've never liked it and never will.
Yeah, there's not too many options out there, man. I'm on my
true.
last leg with Facebook. I feel like they're about to dance Smotz me.
Yeah. Good luck. Godspeed, my friend. Also, Sharron, if you're gonna tag me in something about the podcast, tag my other account, and that's all I'm gonna say, because I will share it there, but I won't share it on my main account. I'm not going to say why here. Maybe I'll say it in the bonus. But we do have to talk about Hunter Biden and the Bidens and all that stuff that's in the title of this episode, actually. Yes, CD said, we still going? Yes, we're still going. Not only are we still going, we haven't even gotten to the lead here, but we've buried it sufficiently in a very gay way. And speaking of gay, here's Jack Casey.
Today's show is sponsored by libertarian conspiratorial fantasy author Jack Casey. Whether you're looking for a 3-book fantasy sci-fi epic of love, death, and dystopian civil war like the Royal Green series, or just looking for a quick, dark, comedic cultural commentary tale about a transsexual slayer of COVID regime vampires, like his latest book, WVW, Jack Casey books will keep you adequately entertained and pondering the universe to your weird little heart's content. He's the Ayn Rand meets Stephanie Meyer meets somebody who actually writes entertaining books with his own unique little downer-esque flair. Find out more about Jack Casey Books at the aptly named jackcaseybooks.com. Once again, that is Jack Casey Books.
Whoops. Also, because we're running out of time here and I'm going to forget, here's the other one.
Have you guys heard of Matt Miller? He's not only the guy who paints those amazing portraits of all your favorite heroes in the Liberty Movement and in pop culture, but he's also now an official sponsor of this show. From Murray Rothbard to Ron Paul, Dr. Robert Malone to Darth Maul, Matt Miller's Liberty Portraits has something fun for everyone to spice up your home or office and showcase your heroes. Go check out his incredible work at libertyportraits.com. Grab a print to impress your friends, hire him for a custom portrait, or bring him out to a festival to capture your event in real life in a beautiful and unique way. To find out more, just head over to libertyportraits.com. Once again, that is libertyportraits.com.
All right. So we've paid all the bills or whatever those do. Patrick Leistner, Florida man in real life, says, fake super chat, just finished WVW, which is Jack Casey's newest book. He says, I'd call it more of a modern-day Animal Farm than Ayn Rand. But yes, you haven't read the where is it? I have it here somewhere. The Royal Green series, which are like dictionary length. That's more Ayn Rand style, if you will. I haven't read Ayn Rand or the Royal Green series, but I hear that they're both something. So we also had somebody else in here. Free Men Die Free had a comment, and he said, hey, Dan, I'm permabanned from Facebook and Twitter, and I need help from the Liberty Movement. My 4-year-old niece developed cancer behind her eye, and I have a charity set up. I'd love to see it circulated. Please post the link in the comments. I will put it up here, and I will encourage people to, yes, please go check it out. I don't know this person, don't know anything about the situation, but absolutely, libertarians need to be doing more of living out what we talk about and, feeling the urge and the desire to actually help out our fellow man, because if all these social programs leave, you're going to have to really own your shit real fast. Like if you get your way, you're going to suddenly have to take care of people around you. So let's start now, won't you? Go check out that guy and his problem. And I'm sorry to hear about that. That's awful. But speaking of awful, Kamala Harris. Welcome to the show, you guys. Kamala Harris. Before we get into the Bidens, we got to just play this clip. It doesn't matter. It's just about Roe versus Wade overturning. And this is the next in line for leadership here.
Sadly, fail. When you look back, did Democrats fail, past Democratic presidents, congressional leaders, to not codify Roe v. Wade over the past 5 decades?
I think that, to be very honest with you, I do believe that we should have rightly believed, but we certainly believe that certain issues are just settled. Certain issues are just settled.
I thought we were just cool.
No, that's right. And that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
When you look back, did Democrats fail?
What?
So that's your vice president, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who's worse, because at least Joe Biden has an excuse, like he's half dead. She's just like a vibrant, 65-year-old bag of demons, and she just says those things and pretends
she's
like
worse,
people
dude.
have a clue what she's trying to say. Like anytime she opens her mouth, anytime she's asked a question, it's just like words, just word salad. Just here's a few buzzwords mixed in with some other words that I think sound smart right now, and you get it, right? You understood what I was trying to say there.
No, she's definitely worse, man. Joe Biden, in my view, as a Delawarean, Joe Biden is like a guy of average intelligence, but really, really low character. So he'll say whatever it takes, but he'll also learn his lines.
Right.
So
at least he'll sell it a little bit, or at least he would have sold it a little bit back
in the
when
80s.
he was
He could
alive.
sell it. In the 90s, he could sell it. He sold the war on drugs. He sold the police state. He sold all that shit. They loved him.
Yeah.
So he's better at the job of politicking, but
Right.
she is vapid.
She's just there. She's just
Right.
like the kid who had a certain amount of words that their book report had to fill, and so they're like, here's some words. So
Yeah.
Yep. there we
just
go.
keep talking. Yeah, she's the worst.
Yep. So we got to move on to our favorite family, which is the Bidens. And anytime we talk about the Bidens, anytime we remember the beauty of this wonderful first family, it's part of this segment.
And Corn Pop was a bigger big shot. Nazi fags. You ain't black. You're a stupid son of a bitch.
That's right. We're here remembering Biden because Biden has a hard time remembering himself. And someday, our children will look back on these times, and they'll look at the history books and the textbooks that say that Joe Biden was like the best president ever, got the most votes of any president in history, and how great he was, and how he attacked Putin or something. They'll say something completely different than what the reality is, but we're here to make sure that that doesn't stick around any longer than it has to, or at least some people can find the truth if this is not destroyed. If, I don't know, do we have a backup plan if, like, podcasts are removed, which is definitely coming down the pike at some point? Like, do we send out cassette tapes to people? Like, how do we keep this information alive, Dave?
Oh, man, you're talking to the guy who keeps getting banned.
Right.
So, I might not
A
be
guy
the
who barely has a podcast to begin with.
Right, exactly, dude. Fuck, so, yeah, I don't know if I have the method to which we are going to do it. But I do really, truly believe that you can't destroy the energy.
Yeah.
Like that we'll find a way. Like, pirate radio, podcast, there will be a way. We'll figure out a way to do that. It'll probably suck for a while, but
yeah.
No, we'll be fine.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to talk about now Hunter Biden and his I would say his seedy past, but I don't think it's as much past as it is just all of it, always, just his life in general. This video has been going around because he was, as the news articles will say, he was allegedly hacked. We're not entirely sure. It's still alleged whether or not 4chan hacked Hunter Biden's iCloud. Now, we're not talking about the laptop right now, which has been proven to be true, and even the mainstream media has had to come out and backpedal everything that they said. They spent months deleting people, deleting them from internet existence for even asking the question of whether or not the Hunter Biden laptop was true. And now it just is true, and we know it's true. And this is a completely different thing, even. So whatever was on the laptop, this is just his phone that was hacked, basically, and his account. And I just find it hilarious. They're like, allegedly it was hacked. It's like, well, either it was hacked or deepfake. There's three options. It was hacked. Deepfake technology has gotten incredible, just incredible. Or it wasn't hacked, and Hunter Biden is leaking out shots of himself doing stuff like this.
It's 2.06.
2.07.
No, 20.7.
Without the bag.
So how long is
2.0?
That was Hunter Biden there, filming himself. The video was one of the few pieces of content that the image board website 4chan claims to have hacked from the president's son's iCloud account. A Twitter user under the...
All right, I didn't actually watch this clip. I thought it was just of that. But yeah, this is one of the main clips going around where he's like weighing his crack, and he says it's 2.07. It's not. It's 20.7, which is a lot more crack than 2.07, I would imagine. I'm not a mathematician or anything, but he did this with I believe they said it was like with a prostitute. It doesn't matter if this is a prostitute that he's arguing with. He's arguing with a woman about how much crack he has. And whatever, I'm a libertarian. I'm all for like drugs. Do your drugs. I don't encourage it, but I'm not against it.
Trade your drugs. You can trade drugs for sex. You can do whatever you want.
Sure. Unless your father has said things like this.
If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, 1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurman and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Under our forfeiture statutes, the government can, take everything you own, everything from your car to your house, your bank account, not merely what they confiscate in terms of the dollars from the transaction that you've just got caught engaging in. They can take everything. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society. They are in jail, away from my mother, your husband,
my
our
son,
families. So I don't want to ask
my dead son's
what
widow.
made them do this.
Those people.
They must be taken off the street.
That's Hunter's dad. I'm not sure if you're familiar. President of the United States currently, and Hunter Biden. Man, wow. There's so this leak came out, and there's way more than we're going to be able to get into. The crack thing is it's pretty bad. Like I don't care that if somebody smokes crack. Like, as a libertarian, I don't recommend it. I wish you wouldn't. I feel bad for anybody who's, like, hooked on crack. But when your father is the guy who wrote the bills and then bragged about the bills that threw everybody who was, he even had a quarter, if you had a quarter amount, whatever amount that is, then you go straight to jail. 5 years, absolute minimum. Judge can't even decide otherwise. That was all Biden's doing. And then his son, on the taxpayer dole, with armed security at his places, and living in like I think it was like a $30,000 a month apartment or home that he's living in right now. Hunter is this guy has protection from all the things that his dad was vehemently against when it was back then, where it disproportionately hurt black people instead. Also, Strom Thurmond, he mentions him, and he's like, that makes me more credible that I went with the KKK guy and stuff. Like, literally, he was friends. Like, there's so much to this. I don't even know where to start. Dave, give me any thoughts that you have. So otherwise, I will just ramble on all the images, all the dick pics that I've seen of Hunter Biden over the last week.
Yeah. Joe Biden makes me enraged. Like, Joe Biden makes me hate the state and makes me want to point to him as an example of everything that's wrong with government. His son may or may not be guilty of some fucking seedy shit.
Yeah.
And he's obviously a fucking hot mess.
Yeah.
But I don't hate Hunter Biden.
I don't know, man.
Okay. No, listen. I've heard some weird shit, and that could turn out to be true, and he could be a demon. But dude, all right, Michael Malice put out a poll the other day, and I'm only going by what I know. And the poll was something to the likes of, like, who is the worst person? Joe Biden, George W. Bush, Hunter Biden.
Mm-hmm.
And Hunter Biden won that poll.
Thousands. Yeah. He's never blown people up, to my knowledge.
He's not a mass murderer. Right, like he's just a fucking live right to my
I don't want
knowledge.
I don't want to like speak out of line here and say Hunter Biden's not a mass murderer. I can't confirm that.
I'm gonna go out of the line, and I'm gonna say that George fucking W. Bush and Joe Biden are absolutely light years worse than this guy.
Right,
and that includes probably the worst allegations that he's done too, because they've done that too, plus the mass murder stuff.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact that Joe Biden raised this guy. And I don't like to be like the people who are like, oh, Donald Trump was a terrible father because of whatever. Like, I mean, look at Donald Trump's kids right now. I don't know anything. Like, I'm sure there are allegations that I'm not familiar with about them doing shady business dealings or whatever. But it's not, as I posted on Twitter this morning, say what you want about, Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., I don't know if this is worth anything or not, but I've never seen their penis. I mean, that might mean something. It might mean one is a little bit more of a degenerate than the other. I don't know. But I do think you're right, not only about Biden being worse because of, wars and the crime bill and all the things that he's always been about for his entire career. But he raised this guy, and there's a lot of shadier stuff where, in this leak, Hunter Biden has his family members in his phone, and for Joe Biden, he has him listed as Pedo Peter or Pedo Pete. Now, if that's not enough, if Joe Biden sniffing kids wasn't enough, his son calling him that, and there's the rumors about what's her name, the daughter who nobody even knew existed until her diary leaked, where she was talking about taking showers with her dad and kissing him on the mouth and stuff like that. And then Hunter's got like pictures of like him with his sister, like, or there's like a selfie of his sister on his phone where she's like making she has her finger in her mouth and it's very suggestive. Like weird shit. Like the family is fucked up just all around. Like they're the main things that if the media focuses on anything at all, like even the right wing media, they're focusing on like, oh, this guy, he hired prostitutes and he did drugs and this and that, and he absolutely did. I think that's pretty self-evident at this point, since he not only has an addiction to drugs, he has an addiction to filming himself doing drugs and then never deleting that footage ever. So this is kind of on him at some point. But I think that there's some stuff that happened between Joe and his kids. What would I don't know? They, like Hunter and Joe shared a phone. Hunter was sending his dad like porn and stuff, or he was sending his dad like pictures of him banging prostitutes and stuff. Like they have a weird relationship on the, I guess, this amount of surface level. I'm not saying he abused his kid necessarily, but if you had to guess, do you think that Joe Biden was a good dad and Hunter's just this kid who, got involved in a gang of ruffians, and maybe those Ukrainians that he was doing business with, or the Chinese that he was doing business with, maybe they got him into these drugs? What do you think, Dave?
Dude, there is so much to unpack here. Again, from the state of Delaware.
I'm just like scattershot throwing shit out there because there's so much, and we're already at an hour and 34 minutes. So I'm like, God, we should have gotten to this sooner. That's on me.
Let's take it's all good, but let's take what we know about the nature of the state. Epstein, what did he traffic in? Obviously human beings, but what were they using that for? Blackmail.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to assume that at the highest levels, the people that excel to the highest levels of government probably have a lot of blackmail material on them. Like that's just from all kinds. Israel, China, who knows?
Epstein.
America itself, Epstein himself, right? Doesn't matter. I'm sure there's lots of dirt on people who Dennis Hastert was, top 3 behind Bush, Cheney. Like he was like the number 3 guy in charge, like a filthy fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
So Biden, dude, if you haven't looked into this, and for your viewers who are into this kind of stuff, Biden grew up in Arden, Delaware, which was like in the early 1900s and before, like this was a satanic area. Like this was like settled by, it's like they call it an artist community right now. It's actually cool. People like hippies have settled there. But you and your viewers should Google Jay Parker and Arden, Delaware, and specifically in regards to Joe Biden. He did a lot of research. This guy was like a victim of this awful stuff, dude. But
Jay,
like I said,
whatever his name is, was a victim of it?
Jay Parker was an actual victim. He's done a lot of research. He's still around the way. Chris Valrath from the party has interviewed him a couple times, but he gives a lot of good insight into the actual community and how they were unincorporated, so the police wouldn't go in there, and it was just ripe with all kinds of just the world's most awful things. But this is where Joe Biden grew up, and when the DuPonts, exited politics, they kind of knighted the Biden family. And again, this is the guy you just look at, like, I know this isn't evidence, but this is the guy when his wife died. Like he had a press conference at the hospital. Like, look at me. It's like, can you imagine? Like, that's the worst kind of person ever to like. And then he ended up marrying.
It was an opportunity. It was a political press opportunity when his wife died. Wow.
Look at me. We know that he was a plagiarizer. Oh, second in my class. No, you weren't, sir. You were like almost towards the bottom. But like pre-internet, you just could fucking say shit. I'll just say shit until they fucking call me.
Yeah, even when he was on the up and up in politics and we didn't know any of this stuff, it was like, it's like nobody talks about the fact that this guy ran for president back in the 80s or something. I think it was like 88.
Yeah, 88.
And he had to drop out because they caught him plagiarizing, and he had to backpedal a lot of things because he said that he was like top in his class in some school that he never went to, and like just flagrant lies since back when I was born. Like, I was born in 88. For as long as I've been alive, this man has been lying to your faces, and now he's president, and shit's coming out. So,
and he's born to do it, man. And he fucking, he sent his son Bo over there, probably got sick because of the burn pits, got cancer and died, so that his other son could have an affair with his wife when he died. Like, this is the whole family. One other kid, or maybe his niece, was like arrested for like $250,000 in credit card fraud. Dude, they're just like, they are the worst people.
Yeah.
Everything that's wrong with government. And what they are not is the Clintons, like, kind of excelled to a certain level. Like, they're like the cheap version of that, like the Delaware version. I don't know how to explain it, but like, that's the most exploitable, though. Like, he'll do anything, and I guarantee, dude, before the Biden story is over, they will throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
That's going to be the end of his story.
Who, Hunter or Joe?
Joe. He'll take the fall for some of this stuff, and that's what I think, anyways.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you see the Democrats currently backpedaling on the whole Joe Biden thing just in general. Like, I think they know more than they're letting on, and they're kind of like, because they'll ask Joe in an interview, like, are you planning on running in 2024? And he's like, yes, I'm definitely planning on running. And they're like, okay, well, if Joe Biden doesn't plan on running, how about, AOC or what's his name? Stephen Colbert or something like Jon Stewart. People were throwing that name around. Like, I just love how they're like just completely ignoring the fact that the guy that is their guy currently in office as the president is saying
the most popular president ever.
And he's saying, I am going to run. And they're like, okay, sure. But
think about
he
it.
doesn't. Yes. It's quite beautiful to watch them have to, figure that out. But we can just go through, some of Twitter. You just look up Hunter Biden 4chan, and all of this is not going to be the worst of it, I assure you, because there's some really bad stuff. There's like a shot of Hunter laying on a couch, and he's like half naked and has like 5 girls that look like they're about 12, like just sitting on him and around him. They're clothed, sure, but what the hell is going on there? There's another one.
Why isn't 4chan getting Silk Roaded? What's up with them? Why can they release this stuff? I'm curious.
Give it time.
About that.
There are I heard something or read something where whoever did this, they're like, this person better watch out. Like, they better be hiding in a third world country currently, because they're about to get McAfee'd. Like, this is some dangerous shit. Like, even if it was just like a normal mob boss or a normal mob boss's son, like, that's what we're dealing with here. Mob bosses, and you're exposing their corruption, like really bad, shady shit that the normal general public can't even handle. Not just like political corruption that people can't wrap their brains around. This is like bad. And like, if that was a normal mob boss's son, that would be a reason to fear for your life. Now, the mob boss is the president of the United States. And he's actually not the president of the United States. Well, he's not like the guy in charge. There's a whole team of people around him that are really good at shutting these things down and covering up things and, telling people that the Hunter Biden laptop was a crazy conspiracy theory. So there's that. I just watched the other day, Pat Bet David had on the guy he was the guy who ran the computer shop who got the Hunter Biden laptop, and the guy who did all that stuff. Fascinating story. And like, I was skeptical on the Hunter Biden laptop. I was like, I read the book and I was like, yeah, this seems legit. But then I was like, it might not be. This could be politics. This could be theater or whatever. I don't necessarily trust Rudy Giuliani either. But like, you listen to this guy's story and it's like, this guy's got conviction and this guy is not on a team. This guy is just like scared for his life and, putting the stuff out there. So fascinating stuff there. But
dude, I don't know him personally, but I know some people who know him, and that's been the word, is like, no, this is just a regular dude that this happened to. And that's 15 minutes down the way.
If you want to like talk to those people that know him, give him my information.
I'll see what I can do, bro, for sure.
So yeah, there's this picture, which some people have said this is like, I don't know, his sister. I don't know. Like, where has his sister been this whole time? How do none of us know that Hunter Biden had a sister? Or did you know? Am I just stupid again?
I thought that there was a sister, but I didn't think that was her. That's her?
I don't know. Maybe it's a cousin or something. I've heard people say it's a cousin, but either way. Whatever. Creepy picture, but this could be nothing. The text, though. She's a legend. None of these women are except for Diva. This is a conversation between Hunter, who's in the blue, and I guess some female. It looks like a female who's like pimping out some prostitutes to him. But they say they're like pitching these different names and stuff, and they're given names and ages, and he says no to Lucy, I think. They say, okay, so fine. Do you want foreign or domestic? And he says, and you have to make the pitch directly. They say, I can't give you fucking Asian. Sorry, I'm not doing it. And Hunter says, domesticated foreigner, which, what does that mean exactly?
Oh my God. I feel like this came out with the last leak. Didn't it?
Yeah, this one I think is old because I had heard this one before where he says no yellow at the end.
No, yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, that's the main one. But it's not like whatever. People can have a problem with him being a racist or not a racist. I don't care. I mean, that's the least of my concerns with Hunter Biden, whether or not he's a racist at this point. But I have no surprise if he is a racist. But just the way that he talks about this stuff so just passively. Like, this isn't like you're going out and buying your first hooker. This is like, no to Lucy, I think. Maybe this. I don't know. Just so passively, like, yeah, just doing the normal thing. Like, this is his life. This is the world that he lives in, where you're just like picking and choosing between women to purchase. And it's like he's doing that in, on taxpayer dollar to some extent. To some extent, it would have to be, because we're supposed to not believe that he got into any shady business dealings that made him billions and billions of dollars that 10% went to the big guy through. If you set that all aside and go with what they're telling us, which is he's just, the president's son, he doesn't really, he's not like he shouldn't be a billionaire, I don't think. And Joe Biden's not making that much money as president. You don't really make enough to be blowing as much money as Hunter does on hookers and blow, but here we are. And just, I don't know, the way he's just so casual about it, that this is just what he does. That's telling to me. Far more than him calling Asians yellow. As funny as that is.
I wonder if Joe has been using Hunter as like, well, you know how like the Podestas do it? Like they tag team it, like one's in politics and one's in business. Definitely. That's how you do it. That's kind of the Clinton model too. It's like, well, I'm going to run in politics and you run the institute or the charity.
Yeah.
Right. So you can kind of like tag team that. Hey, I know what's coming down the pipeline, so we'll plan ahead for this. We'll enrich each other.
Right.
And I get the feeling that that's probably been it, and that Joe was an abusive father.
He's
probably
like, we can make more money over there. Just go do that.
Right. And I think that Hunter was probably the worst kid. He probably took on the most of his dad's traits, maybe to impress his dad, not to psychoanalyze this guy too much. But I am seeing an awful lot of him, so I feel like I get to maybe a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy. And I don't know how much of the book, Laptop from Hell, I don't know how much of it's true and how much of it's fan fiction, but it seems to be adding up the more time goes on. And, according to that, Hunter Biden was doing these business dealings. He was setting up businesses. A lot of them failed or whatever, but they were like, I don't know, big investment firms and stuff like that. And he was working directly with CCP members and working directly with Ukraine members and stuff like that. And Joe Biden, according to this, they say that they've got these conversations where he's trying to get Joe to come and meet up with these people that he's doing business with. Like, he was using Joe Biden's vice presidency to leverage his business dealings, and he would bring Joe out to certain business dealings where he could, help out in that way. And then there's the sharing of the phone, which is, pretty sus. And so many things. I can't speak in definitives here because it's not reported by CNN yet. But if I had to speculate, yes, they're both very corrupt, and there's more than just shady business dealings. There's more than prostitutes and cocaine that I'm sure they both were maybe Joe wasn't involved in doing it, but I find it hard to believe that he wasn't, that he was just this dad who was concerned for his kid. He was probably concerned for his kid, or acting like he was concerned for his kid because his kid was about to lose him money by being a cokehead. But fun stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there any? There's so many images and pictures that we could go through, and I don't know how much of them I want to put on you, but this was one of my favorites. 6,000-year-old elite pedo blood cult, and then 4chan is the pink dude with the, whatever, Pepe head.
I gotta say about the Hunter thing, like if he wasn't such a narcissistic asshole, taking your fucking picture all the time, right. First of all, I don't know the last time. I don't, like, once in a while, if I'm out with my girl, like, and she wants to take a selfie, I'll take a selfie. If I ever see a fucking dude like like a bathroom selfie,
right,
like just doing normal shit. Here's my fucking outfit today. Like, that's fucking lame.
Right.
Don't fucking do that with fucking crack rocks out, you dumbass.
Yeah.
You dick out, you idiot. Like, you're
and that's
you're
how
ruining
you know
everything.
you're at a certain level, when you're like so brazen about it that you're just like, yeah, I'm coked out of my mind. And it's not like he took a video of himself doing drugs. He took video after video after video after video. That's why it's hilarious that these news outlets are saying allegedly he was hacked. It's like, well, we're looking at his penis right now, so it's hard for me to come up with another option.
I'm looking at his dick. Dude, I think you can actually pretty much write off a deep fake, because if it were a deep fake,
not a deep fake.
well, the first time that was that was on the table too, but you'd know that because they would come out right away in the mainstream press and go, this is fake, check it out, this is Russian, whatever. But the fact that they're so quiet is because
they just shut it down. Down. Yeah. And here's the picture I was talking about earlier of his sister that was on his phone taking a selfie of herself. Normal family behavior there. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I should have pulled a bunch up. Like, there's him sliding down a slide. Like, this is him just like coked out on the beach somewhere and like ranting into his phone.
Oh my God.
Just normal selfie video that you take of yourself on the beach here.
Right.
Oh, is he gonna get naked?
Like, you can't even share this. Like, you don't have social media. You don't.
Right. Like, who is this for? Who are you sending this to? I mean, I understand that you're coked out of your mind and don't have the foresight to think that somebody might hack your account somewhere, but I don't know. Like, what is? Let me see if there's anything else here real quick. I don't think there is. That's just him on a tirade. But yeah, it's like, who was this for? I understand that you might be coked out of your mind and not making rash decisions or whatever, but at some point you were sober, and at some point you looked at your phone and you're like, I guess I'm gonna keep that. Like, just tons of them. Like, if he took it and it was a mistake and then he forgot one, but it's like 60 videos of him just drugged up. It's impressive.
Bro, all I can say is, I mean, he's a man. He's responsible for himself. But if you grew up in the Biden house, there's no part of me that feels like, I don't know, growing up like Michael Jackson, being forced to do all this shit, being in a Biden home is probably, like, equivalently, you're getting beat or abused verbally, worse, So for this guy to be, and you're like ostracized from the public, you probably go to like, private school or not, even like home taught, you probably can't be around friends. Like, his whole life probably sucked and made him a reclusive weirdo. So
even if his dad wasn't a piece of shit, it's probably not great for your mental health growing up with your dad as a politician and being steeped in that for your entire childhood.
Right. The only hope that you could have is if your dad wasn't a total piece of shit, in which case he probably wouldn't be going into like politics to begin with. But yeah.
Yep, exactly. Now, we can, like, lest ye doubt, here's just some little icons. If you want to freeze that for a second and go through and look at some of the stuff, you're welcome to, but I'm not going to dig deeper into, there's definitely a penis there. Yeah, so there's that. There's Hunter, and man, we can't
we can't leave this episode, though, without talking about the rest of the family, because the most well-spoken person in the family, of course, is Jill Biden, because Dr. Jill Biden, very well-spoken, very, very, very doctor, and we know Joe is almost dead. We know Hunter is probably also almost dead. Oh, shit, I meant to pull up. Look up Hunter Biden teeth and see what Hunter Biden looked like before he got his fake teeth.
Oh.
It's impressive. I might have to pull it up. But we do have to talk about his mother, not his mother, Jill Biden, who he famously called a cunt. I'm pretty sure that was pretty recent as well, that he called her that. He called her entitled or whatever, spoiled. Let me see. Hunter teeth. Called her spoiled. So there's definitely some family trouble. Have you seen Hunter's teeth before he got them fixed?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Holy shit. Like, and then goes to this where just like fake teeth, which same as Biden. Like, he's got the Biden grin and everything, which makes it creepy because they both have fake teeth, I'm sure. But yeah, going from like your teeth are literally just nubs falling out of your head from meth, and now you're made out to be this victim or whatever. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy. But Jill, speaking of meth, Jill, she was at an event recently for Latinxes, I'm pretty sure is what we call them now, Latinx individuals, which was called, what was the name of the event? Because it you know what the story is, right, Dave? You're familiar?
Yes.
So she went to this event for, I gotta find what it was for, because it was just basically like a woke rally, just like stop. It was a Latinx, rally or whatever, talking about problems with stereotypes and stuff like that. And Jill Biden said this.
But we can't get those things on our own. Raul helped build this organization with the understanding that the diversity of this community, as distinct as the Bogotas of the Bronx, as beautiful as the blossoms of Miami, and as unique as the breakfast tacos here in San Antonio, is your strength. And yet, it's when you speak with one voice, unidos, that you find your power.
Who is more white? Hillary Clinton trying to convince black dudes that she keeps hot sauce in her purse, or Jill Biden referring to Latinxes as tacos, breakfast tacos, as unique and beautiful and wholesome as breakfast tacos?
I love that she's, first of all, this was the silver lining to the whole Biden experience being in the White House. There's something about this lady's Philly accent that, you guys down there by the river, getting up there by the Blue Route, these tacos over there, you guys. It brings me a lot of pleasure that she's in the White House, this Dr. Dummy.
Absolutely. Yeah, as the voice of reason amongst the rest of them. Yes.
Amazing.
But yeah, so it's an event for, say, like trying to get people to whatever, care about your diversity thing, your Latinx. It was like, I don't remember what it was, but there was another word that they also put X in a random place. It was like inclusion, but it had an X somewhere in there, but it wasn't at the beginning, so it wasn't exclusion, but we're getting really close to exclusion in this.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, the whole Latinx thing of like, one of my posts that people keep coming back to lately because Latinx keeps trending. I just posted, whenever hashtag Latinx is trending, white women be up to some shit. And people keep coming back to that and sharing that. But like, this is literally the white, probably mostly white LGBTQ folks insisting that an entire culture of people are oppressed because their language that they came up with is gendered. And so we're going to help them by calling them something else and making them adhere to our agenda. And if that doesn't work, maybe if you call them breakfast tacos, maybe that'll help you out.
but
it's very bold. It's
beautiful.
culturally appropriating their whole language. You don't need those O's and A's, you weirdos. Throw this X in there. That's what I would do.
Somebody wrote this speech, though. Somebody wrote down as beautiful or whatever, as unique as breakfast tacos. And they're like, yep, that'll get them. Because they agree. Those Latinxes, they agree that breakfast tacos are very unique. Now, of course, we have to ask ourselves, what is she going to say when she's talking to a group of, I don't know, black folks? What's she going to refer to them as?
Is that coming up next, or is this a hypothetical?
No, this is hypothetical. I just want to know, Dave, what do you think, if you had to put money on what food she will compare different ethnicities to?
You're not going to get me to be racist right now. Fuck that. Oh, well, of course it's going to be fucking, no, I'm not doing it. No way. I have no idea. I don't know what black people like to eat. People like to eat different things.
Hot sauce.
Okay.
Hot sauce, I hear. I'm pretty sure.
That's pretty racist.
Yeah. Or like, she's going to be like, Chinese people are a very diverse culture. They're as unique as, I don't know, General Tso's chicken. Like breakfast tacos, is that even a thing? I don't know. Like breakfast burritos,
oh, dude,
I know
you could
of,
have sausage or bacon, and it's like, it's different.
Right.
Right. Chorizo, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's beautiful. And the organization that she was speaking in front of, I believe, was NAHJ, which I'm not sure what that stands for. Let me find out, because I'm a journalist. National Association of Hispanic Journalists. Not National Association of Latinx Journalists, as it should be. I need you guys to correct that immediately.
Latinx.
Yep. They responded by saying, the NAHJ encourages FLOTUS and her communications team to take time to better understand the complexities of our people and communities. We are not tacos.
Oh, wow.
Our heritage as Latinos, which I find hilarious that they said Latinos in their post about an event where they didn't feel comfortable saying Latinos, but I'm just confused. Maybe I need to dig deeper. But they say our heritage as Latinos is shaped by various diasporas? No, or whatever. Cultures and food traditions do not reduce us to stereotypes, but we are not tacos is quite possibly the most beautiful campaign slogan that anybody has ever accidentally come up with. It might be better than Let's Go Brandon. It's rivaling Pedo Peter, but we are not tacos is definitely going on a shirt somewhere that I'm going to make, I believe, soon. Mm-hmm. And if Donald Trump doesn't use "We are not tacos" as his campaign slogan, he's wrong. He's just wrong.
We've got great taco bowls, really the best.
Yeah, so it's just, you love to see it because of how beautifully awful it is that in her attempt to be like this woke, diverse, all-inclusive to the Latinx community, she's like, y'all are tacos. Y'all are breakfast tacos. Not even tacos. You're the lesser-known taco. You're super unique. Breakfast tacos, that'll get them.
This is the most prevalent kind of racism in America. You're so passively racist. Vapid. You don't hate people, but you just think, I don't know, you're not around enough black. I don't know what it is, but you don't understand stupid. People other than, it's just
you don't know awful. that would come off as very demeaning, that breakfast tacos is all I can understand about you people.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's painful.
Yep. So we got to wrap this up, and we are at 2 hours, as I intended not to be, but we all knew that would not happen. Let's see. Do we got anything in the chats? Thank you guys for being here in the chats. Thank you for hanging out. Do we have any last-minute fake super chats before at least I jump over into the after party? Dave, are you sticking around for the after party?
Yeah, bud.
Cool, man. So we're going to talk about some fun shit. Drop any fake super chats you want real quick. I'm not going to go through and read everything that you guys got, but let me pull up here and see what we've got going on in the after party. Oh, after party sneak peeks. We're talking about nuclear war, nuclear warnings, and how to save yourself from a nuclear holocaust is going to be very important, but not important enough to give to you for free. You have to go pay for it to find out how to survive a nuclear holocaust. Sorry, it's only $5. Do you care about life or do you not? We're also talking about the Lincoln Project. They attempted to seduce Trump, I'm pretty sure, recently. Got questions about that? Come find out. Also, Dave's favorite magazine company, Reason Magazine, is doing what Reason Magazine does best. And we're going to talk about that and much more in the after party. But I'm not seeing any fake super chats, so I will leave you, and we will go over there. If you're not in the Downers Club, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown, and we will keep this party going almost immediately. I might pee in between. But Dave, give any final thoughts, anything that you gleamed from this dive into, I don't know, the new Cern-topia that we're living in, and any plugs that you have left.
Dude, it's great to be back. I missed you. I love this show. And yeah, it feels good to talk it out. We're dealing with some evil sons of bitches out there, and it just helps to get it out there, man. Regardless, I hope that everybody gets something out of it, but I certainly do. So appreciate that. Yeah, you can find me everywhere except Twitter at the moment. Dave versus Goliath on YouTube, Odyssey, Facebook, Instagram. That'd be great. Hit me up.
Dope. Yeah. In the chats, Lisa says, Pedo Peter. Now I can't think of St. Peter without thinking of this. Thanks, Hunter. Yeah, but was it really Hunter's fault that you thought of pedophilia when you thought about the Catholic Church? All right. On that note, we'll leave you guys. Thank you for being here. Come join us in the Downers Club. If you're not offended, maybe we can finish off there. But thank you. Patreon.com/thesystemsdown at TSIDpod. And come join me on Karlin Borisenko's show at 4 o'clock Corn time. We're going to be talking about whether or not Hitler went to hell and other spiritual matters, which will be fun. It'll be different than what we've been doing here. I keep saying that we're going to talk about more spiritual stuff, and then we just talk about Satanists instead in the White House. But apples to orange. I lost my metaphors. We gotta go. Thank you. And goodbye.
Welcome to the system. Everyone's a victim. Doesn't matter if you're black or white, it hates you all. Here inside the system, violence is a symptom. Fighting for what's right, but somehow everyone is wrong.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. GoulashMedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day.
Oh, also, Eric July, he's got this Rip-a-verse thing. Libertarians, you're fucking dorks. But Eric July, congratulations. I was told I'm supposed to talk about that, and people will be mad if I don't. But see you guys.